Hey guys, good morning. Just wanted to kind of come to you with some new stuff that I've been shooting, and also did a panorama last night just in the backyard, and I wanted to show you how easy it was to stitch in Lightroom, as well as kind of show you what I shot that with. So I've been using the Sony A7, which is right here. Brilliant camera, super light. Let me show you the back here, and if we actually turn it on, we've got electronic viewfinder, which is awesome. So you can kind of see the information on the back there. It's kind of what you see is what you get. If you change mode dials on the back, we've got it's a very pro body camera, which is what I like. So if I show you here, we've got exposure compensation right there, and on the back we've got your mode dials just for changing shutter speed and aperture and everything like that. What's great about this is I can actually use these old Minolta lenses. This is a 45mm f2.8 that I put on there last night, and you just use an adapter. So these little adapters right here are pretty cheap, and they cost about 15-20 bucks. And there's the sensor right there. You can see we have no mirror. It just goes straight through to a electronic viewfinder. So let me pop that back on. But the camera's great, 24 megapixels. Shoot ISO on the fly here with a command wheel on the back. I can change my ISO and everything like that. These lenses will shoot all manual. There's no electronics in them, so if you're not plumping down some hard cash for the Sony lenses, you can actually grab. I got this Minolta for about 30 or 40 bucks, so pretty cheap. But anyways, shot it handheld last night. It's so light. This package is about maybe 1.5 pounds. So I've shot video handheld, and I shot the panorama and stitched it and had no problem. So let me show you that. Alright, so here we are in Lightroom, and what I was going to show you was how we stitch this pano very quickly, and this is the end result. So here are the 4 files that I shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, just me in the backyard, but it's also some cool clouds, so I figured I'd go ahead and save you the time. I imported those. What we're going to do is hold down Shift and click, and then right click, and under, if you're in Lightroom CC or 6, you're going to have these new options called Photo Merge, and we have HDR and Panorama. So we're actually going to do Panorama, and you notice there's a keyboard shortcut, which I'm a big fan of. So right now we're just going to head and click Panorama, and it's going to create a preview. Now normally in Photoshop this preview would take quite a while, and then you would have all these dead pixels on the side because you picked either spherical or cylindrical or anything like that. What Lightroom does is actually says auto select projection, so I keep this on all the time, and you've noticed it's already cropped it for me, and it's already generated the preview, and I get a little warning here. It says unable to match lens profile, and that's because I used a manual lens, so the data from the lens is not actually transferred. So maybe that's a blessing because it doesn't actually know what to correct as far as perspective, so it just kind of stitched it the best it could. Did a really good job. So other than that, we're just going to click Merge, and we're going to watch it go. Okay, so the elapsed time on my end was about a minute, and I went ahead and cut that out of the video. And the result of this is it gives you a new DNG. So you'll notice right here, this one says pano-2 DNG because the one I created last night is pano.dng. So adding the dash pano next to it is great because you can go sort through your files, and if you do an HDR, it gives you a dash HDR. The only corrections that I really did to this is I have a preset that I created last night just called Starting Point, and Starting Point for me is pretty much what I do to a lot of my photos, and it's just exposure plus 20, plus 0.2, sorry, 0.2 of a stop. Highlights I bring down minus 50, shadows plus 50, and then I leave the white points and everything, and then vibrance I bring up by 10. And these are just camera specific things that I do. So to finish this, I held down Shift, double clicked on the whites, That brings my white point to exactly, if we show clipping, let's turn, see, that's clipped right there. And what this actually does, if I hold down Alt, it'll actually bring it back down to there, is plus 40. If I shift double click, so it brings you down just below where clipping would be. And so if you have a little bit of room, I have till plus 40 until I start clipping these highlights. And then blacks, we did the same thing. We shift double click and it brings them down to minus 4. This is where the black point should be before you start losing detail. So if I bring this down just a little bit more, I don't mind losing detail in the houses because this is kind of a silhouette, so no big deal there. Next thing I did was I took a brush and I created a couple of custom brushes. So dark and blue is one that just does exactly what it says. Darkens the sky a little bit and brings in some more blue. I generally like this because the blue hour is really pretty, and so that's what I do. So now I click new, get a new brush, and go to another preset just called Light Glow. Light Glow is just take the shadows down a little bit and add some warmth. And I generally use it for lights. So down here where it's kind of glowing around the house, I want the temperature to be a little bit warmer because that's where the sun was. And if I hit backslash, then we'll get the before, and that's the after. So it's kind of adding a little bit of saturation where I want it to. If I click on adjustment brush, we'll get back to the basic panel. And instead of adding saturation to the whole thing, which would kind of overdo it, and it adds saturation to even the darkest areas, so right here and here. I'll double click saturation, that should get rid of that. That's kind of where I like it. It's not a portfolio shot, it's not spectacular, it's something I did in 5 minutes in the backyard, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to actually use Lightroom to do a panorama. And so there you have it. We took you through the Lightroom process of actually stitching that pano and showing you how that works. That is in the new Lightroom CC and Lightroom 6. For me, I went ahead and downloaded Lightroom CC because for $10 a month, I can actually get all the updates to Photoshop and Lightroom, which are the two programs that I use the most. And it has a nice little Creative Cloud download manager that you can always stay up to date on those. And so, for $10 a month, I highly recommend that. I can post a link in the video. I don't get any kickbacks from Adobe, wish I did, but just helping you guys out. If you're on the fence about owning the software or just kind of renting it for $120 a year, it'd take me about 5 years to buy a full version of even Photoshop. So for me, I think it's worth it. And so I'll leave you with that. I'll post the link, and until next time, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see ya.